Okay, Tim. So I think I'm audible. So we'll start the session today. And from today onwards, we'll be going to start the Python classes, starting from the keywords and identifiers. And whereas in the previous sessions, we had a discussion on the demo session of the data science and also why we need to use Python for data science and how to install Annapurna Navigator in our local machine and how to set up the Python environment and how can we switch the or how can we manage the environments from the command prompt so that we had discussed already. So from now onwards, we'll be going to start the Python sessions in a sequential manner. And the very first one would be keywords and identifiers. So of course, the keywords and identifiers are very common in any programming language. So when it comes to the Python keywords, so in generally any programming language, of course, it will be having some keywords. There are some of the keywords are already reserved. Okay, so we can't use those keywords in the keywords as a variable name or the function name or any some specific. Okay, so and moreover, the keywords are the case sensitive. You may have a doubt. So what are the keywords are exactly that we are having in the in our Python? So let's take import the package called keyword and try to print the total keywords that we have in our. So these are the total number of keywords: false, none, true, and as, assert, async, await, take, class, except, finally, for, from, global, if, import, in, is, lambda, non-local. These all are comes under the keywords. Okay, so we can't use these keywords for any variable and for the class or for the function name. We can't use these keywords. These all are the inbuilt keywords in the Python. Okay, and you understood, I think, what is keywords. Okay, keywords are nothing but the specific words which are already reserved in the Python, and we can't use these keywords as a variable name or the function name. In simple, the keywords are the case sensitive. If you want to know the what are the keywords, keywords are nothing but false, none, true, if, else, import, in, is, lambda, non-local. These all are comes under the keywords. And when it comes to the identifiers, we too have the identifiers in Python. So identifier is nothing but so as keywords we can't use as a variable name or the function name, etc. But whereas identifiers we can use for naming the variables, functions, classes, modules, and objects. Okay, so these are nothing but the so here we are the we are nothing but user. We are defining the names to for the particular what you say. So they are used to define names to represent various programming elements. Okay, and you may have a doubt. So what is any rules for validating the identifiers, etc. So like these are some of the rules like can contain alphabets, digits, and underscore, and must not start with a digit, cannot use Python reserved keywords, and case sensitive, where and war are different identifiers, special characters are not allowed. These are some of the rules for the validating the identifiers. So if you want an example, simple example, so here my there is a word called Sandeep, and which was double quoted, and I was assigning this Sandeep. Simply I was assigning this. Simply I'm assigning this Sandeep to a variable called name. Okay, here name is a variable, and the name variable having the value of Sandeep. Okay, this is simply, and also similarly age. Similarly age is also a variable, and this variable was assigned some value is 25. Similarly total marks, if you see here, we these identifiers are following some validation rules. So of course we can have the uh, alphabets, of course, whereas name is having all alphabets. We can start a variable or identifier with an underscore. Yes, it is possible. Total marks 2025. Of course, the variable can have the underscore, alphabets, and also numbers. And this total marks 2025 is having some value of 480. And this 480 is assigned to this total marks 2025, and it is a variable. Print. If I print all this, yeah, name is Sandeep, age is 25, total marks is 480. Okay. And these are the valid identifiers in simple. But there is a scenario, because these all are not a exact identifiers. These are invalid identifiers. Let's take see here two name. So in this case, so it starts with a digit, but as per the validation, it is not exactly. That is the reason two name is an invalid rule. Why? Because it starts with a digit. And my and also we give the special character here and name. So and is invalid. Why? Because it contains a special character of a square. And class equal to class. If you see, class is a keyword, a reserved keyword. Okay, so and we can't assign this. First of all, it is we can't use a reserved keyword as the identifier. Okay, so that is the reason. This is also one of the keyword issue or the invalid. So if you try to run any one of this, if you try to run any one of this, see syntax error, invalid decimal literal. So you may get this type of course, you can't assign any value to this, like if you take Sunday. So you may get error, invalid decimal error. Okay. So these all are invalid identifiers. I think you got what is the keywords and what are the identifiers. So keywords are nothing but, so there are some of the reserved words in Python, so which we can't use as a variable name in generally. So the keywords are simply false, none, true, and is, in, if, else, class, def, yeah, del, elif. The some of the reserved keywords which we can't use for the variable name. When it comes to identifiers, so identifiers are nothing but those are the some of the uh, identifiers are the names, so which we can use it as a variables for the function names, for the class names, for the modules and etc. And for identifiers, we'll be having some specific rules. The rules would be it need to be contain alphabets, digits, and underscore, but it not start with the digit, and cannot use Python reserved keywords as a variable names. And of course, these are also case sensitive, and whereas the identifiers won't allow any special characters like at the rate hash and etc etc. So So as I shown you here, the in the cell, this cell is the this cell having the valid identifiers like name, age, total marks, and etc. And of course, this cell is having these are the invalid identifiers. Why? Because this contains the starts with the digit and contains the special characters and contains the reserved keywords. I think you understand what is the keywords and identifiers. Could you please confirm? And any doubts?
Understood, sir.
Yeah, okay. So then we'll go for the next one. Similarly, so when comes to our next step, the next step or the next sequential, it would be comments, indentation, and statements. In generally, when it comes to Python, so we are having the comments. So let me tell you why we are using the comments. Anyone? Why we need to use comments? Why we'll be using comments in generally?
To easily understand the code.
Oh, of course, it is easy to understand. That is one thing. It's very good. And any other?
Readability.
Yeah, exactly. So when it comes to comments, like in generally, so as you told that one is a readability, and one more thing, if you have any comments for the particular word or what it may be, so if you execute that, there will be no compile errors. Just to add that, okay. So it will ignores. If you compile also, it will ignores. And one more thing, so it makes the code more readable for humans. For example, so you are writing something in a course, it means that so anyone can read that. And of course, while we are running a lots of code, so in between you will be having some comments saying that so this program is used for so and so. This program is using for adding the two variables, and this program is for adding the so and so elements and etc. And in generally, we'll be using comments to know what exactly happening within the code. Okay, let's take in this scenario, print hello world to console. Like here I'm printing the, if I print this, I'm getting hello world too. Simply I know what is there exactly in the print statement. That is the one thing that I can get from the console. And also the very first one would be, the second one would be multi-line comments. There may be a scenario, so there may be a scenario. So we need to have multi-line comments. For example, so I'm writing a simple code here. So print hello world, and so I want to know what is this. So here I'm simply having ash printing the hello world statement. So from above, by seeing the above statement, by seeing the above comment, you'll be getting to know that what the program is exactly, what the code of cell is doing exactly. Okay, so this is a single line comment. If you want the multi-line comment, if you want the multi-line comments, you'll be doing the same thing. So you'll be having the hash in that very next line. So this is how we'll be doing the multi-line comments. Okay. So I suggest everyone to have the comments, to write the comments while you are writing any program. Why? Because it makes you simple. So when you are going for any revision or whatever it may be. And another way of, for example, we too have another way of doing the we too have another way of using the comments, that is the triple quotes. For example, this is a single line comment. So where in the single line comment, you'll be simply using the hash in the front, in the very starting. For example, if I want to, of course, for every line, this is a multi lines only, but for every line, you will be using the hash in the very starting or beginning. But I don't want to have hash in every time in any line. At the time, what I'm going to do, I'll be using the triple quotes. By using the triple quotes, by in the starting and ending. So if you have the triple quotes, you can write n number of statements. You can have n number of statements. There is no issue. Okay. So this is also one of the thing. We are having the single line comment and multi-line comments. Whereas in the single line comment, will be having the hash in the very beginning of the line. When it comes to the multi-line comments, we will be having the triple quotes. Okay. So if you see here, this is also a perfect examples of multi-line comments. If I print this, I'm getting like that. I think you are able to get. So this is nothing but the comments. And why we are using comments, nothing but why we are using comment means, so while we are writing any programming, so in order to know what the programming is exactly, we'll be writing the comments. And from the comments, we'll be getting to know that what the code is behaving exactly. So at the time of revision, and it becomes easy for us. So we no need to dig into the code, something like that. And also docstring in Python. So when it comes to docstring in Python, so I think you understand about the comments. So we'll go for the docstring in Python. When it comes to docstring in Python, when we are writing any function, of course, when we are writing any function, let's take here my function is def double. My function name is double, and here I am declaring a variable called num. Okay, and if I return, I'll be getting the 2 into num. Let's take. So here I'm printing the, see here what I am doing. Let's write in a separate. This is my function. So what this function will do, if I pass any number, okay, what it will return? It will return 2 into the number. For example, if I want to call this function, so I'm calling my function name called double and passing a variable of 10. How much it will return? What it will return exactly? Please, anyone? The function will return the double the number. So here I'm writing within the function. This is a doc string. If we print this, see here 20. If you want to print the double dot doc, it will give the function explanation. So doc string is available to us, the attribute doc of the function. Simply, for example, here I have written some where in the I'm having a one function called double. Let's take. So whereas this double function having the some thousands of line. Okay, but if I execute the function, so simply it will return a solution for that. But I don't know what is happening within the function exactly. So in order to know what the function is doing exactly, I'm I'm having the doc strings here. These are my doc strings. So doc strings are nothing but the strings which are in the function. And if I want to know about the function exactly, so if I write function name dot doc, it will be print the statements which are there in the which are available in the given function. If are you able to understand what is a doc string? So doc string is simply a short for documentation string, and where in the functions we'll be having the doc strings. So if you in order to know the what function is doing exactly, and so by having the command called doc, so we are able to get the uh, doc string explanation in simple words. And it is a string that has the first statement in modules, function, class, or method definition in generally. So at the time of writing a function, so in the very first step, we'll be having the doc string. So where in the doc string, we'll be writing in such a way that what the function will be doing, uh, what the function is doing exactly. And yes, this is about the doc string in Python. When it comes to the Python indentation, so the thing is most of the programming languages like C, C++, and etc. So the they are having some block of code. When it comes to Python, we use as an indentation. Okay, so for example, let's take in this scenario for I in this is a for loop for I in range of 10. Okay, and after that, the very next line after the column, very next line, we are having the some space after the second line. So So what it is doing here, where in this space, this is my indentation. This is my indentation between the next line. After that only I can go for the writing any command call something like print of I something like that. So now it will be giving the iteration of 1 to 9, sorry 0 to 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is simply so where in Python we will be following the indentation. Okay, na? So that is the very first one. And you may have a doubt how will we get to know that the respective loop is having for loop or not, so having the indentation or not, that we can getting to know by knowing the syntax, and where in the further classes we'll be going to explain. And generally the indentation would be like the four white spaces are used for the indentation and is preferable over the tabs, and also the amount of indentation is up to you, but it must be the consistent throughout the block. So the one thing there is that, for example, if you are going for any indentation, means if you are having any indentation, something that, so it would be same for all the cells within the given module. And in generally, the indentation must be having the four white spaces. And the example for this is a for loop example, just have given. Whereas the for is my condition. So after the condition, if I click, if I enter, so there will be obviously some four white space. Thereafter only you can go for the writing any statement. Of course, the indentation is there are ignored in some of the scenarios where we having the continuation, line continuation, and that I'll be going to discuss in further classes. See here, this is also one of the example. If true, print machine learning. See, see if true, if is my condition. If is true, then print the condition as a machine learning. So that is what is printing exactly. If you try to, if you not giving any indentation, it will throw you indentation error. Okay, there are certain conditions like for loop, if and else condition, and while loop, and with of course there are some other try and except. It follows some indentation. So that will be come to know by knowing the exact syntax. So see, this is also one of the this is a continuous statement. So this is a continuous statement. If true, hyphen print machine learning, we call C equal to AAIAC. So it is given the continuous statement. It is all the conditions are in a single line, in a continuation line, so that it is printing the final statement as a machine learning. Okay, so Python statement. So instruction that a Python interpreter can execute or call statements. So an example, a colon is a single statement, and if you want the multi-line statements, we are having the, of course, this is one of the statements. It's simple. If you want to know what is a multi-line statements, a equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus, and you are having some backward slash, then we'll be going for the next line 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus, and again backward slash 7 plus 8. So in such a way that we can write any statement in a either single statement or a multi-line statement, so by having the backward slash. So in Python, end of the statement is marked by a new line character, but we can make a statement extend over multiple lines with a line continuation character. So this is what exactly we are doing. And if you add, so if you print the A, you may get the sum of the values, sum of the elements, that will be 36. Another way, simply, of course, so here by having this you are going for the new line. So with this, if you print this, you may also get the same thing, 36. And if you do the same thing, that of course, and here by having this semicolon, you will be going for the, you know what is semicolon. We'll be using semicolon in order to have the multiple statements in a single line. Okay, in order to write a multiple statements in a single line, so we'll be going for the semicolon. And here a equal 10, b equal 20, c equal 30. So a equal 10 semicolon, b equal 20 semicolon, c equal 30. So if you print a, you'll be getting the 10. If you print b, you'll get the 20. If you print c, it will give in the 30. I think you are able to understand now. So the thing is that, so when it comes to the Python comments, in generally Python comments will be writing to know what the program makes exactly. And in order to at the time of revision, these comments will help us to so know what the code is exactly. And multi-line comments. So for the single line comment, we'll be using a hash in the very beginning. But when it comes to the multi-line, so this is how when it comes to the multi-line comments. So there are two approaches. So for going giving hash for each and every line at the beginning for the all the lines, and there is a second method. So going with the triple quotes in the beginning and ending. So if you have the triple quotes, you can write a number of lines. Whereas the doc string is nothing but, so doc string is a short documentation of the string. Most of the time we'll be using this doc string within the function very first. So in order to know the what the function is doing exactly, so if you print the double means function name dot doc, it will give the doc string, so that we'll be knowing the function description. And Python indentation. In generally, Python follows the indentation for some of the uh, uh, loops like for loop, while, and if else condition, it follows the indentation. So the indentation must be having the four white spaces. So if you know the syntax in perfect, so it is very simple. And Python statement, because here a equal to 1 is a single line statement. So we can also have the multi-line statements by having the slash, and we can go for the multi-line statement, and also by having the semicolon. So by having the semicolon, we can write all the statements in a single line, all the multiple statements in a single line. So this is what exactly about the comments, indentation, and the statements in Python. I think you are clear now. Could you please confirm?
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
So thereafter, we'll be going for the next. That would be the variables and data types in Python.
Sir, will you provide notes, sir?
I think, are you are you making any, having notebook and writing anything, or just you are listening?
Writing, sir.
Okay, okay. We'll provide, but after having the classes, we'll provide one by one.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So you don't need to worry. So we'll provide the revised notes also for all you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, okay. So when it comes to the next class, the next session, variables and data types in Python. And so when it comes to variable, so variable is a location memory used to store some data, and they are given a unique names to differentiate between the different memory locations. And the rules for writing a variable name is same as the rule for writing identifiers in Python. Okay, and we don't need to declare a variable before using it. In Python, we simply assign a value to variable and it will exist. We don't even have to declare the type of the variable. This is handled internally according to type of value we assign to the variable. So we'll let you know what exactly. So when it comes to variable assignment, here you can see that a is having some value of 10, is nothing but 10 value is assigned to a variable that is called a. We use the assign assessment operator equal to assign values to the variable. Here we are doing the same thing, a equal 10. So a is my variable. The a variable is having the value of 10, and 10 is the integer. So you can have the simple slash here. So I'm commenting. Okay, and here 5.5 is the value has been assigned to the b equal to 5.5. 5.5 is the float, and c equal to ml is in the double quotes. So this is a string. in simply in simply, if you try to run any if you try to run a if you try to run a will be giving the value of 10. Why? Because a is a variable which is having some value of 10, and you may have a doubt. So a is having or occupied with some location. The variable a is occupied with some location. We'll let you know there after some time. And if you print b is one more variable and it is having some value of 5.5. 5.5 is a float. Of course, the one thing I can say that, so for, of course, just now I told you 10 is the int, 5.5 is the float, ml is the string. So you no need to define any variable type. Okay, at the time of course, you no need to define any variable for any data type for the a by default. So Python will be taking care of that. And if you type of a, it will give you what exactly it is int. Okay, You no need to define before assign a variable, before assigning a variable. Similarly, C is a string, it's ML, it print ML. This is how we'll be assigning a variables to particular values. And if you want the multiple assessment, yes, of course, we can go for a comma b comma c equal to 10 comma 5 comma 5 and ml. Nothing but a would be assigned to 10, b would be assigned to 5.5, and c would be assigned to ml. This is how we'll be writing a single line. Okay, and if you write a equal to b equal to c and equal to a, all a and b c all are assigned to a same value. Okay, all these multiple variables are assigned to a same value. Okay na? So storage location, you may have a doubt. So just now I told you, so x is my variable, and 3 is v3 assigned to the x variable. If I want to know the storage location of the x, then I can just go and print id of x. It will print the address, what is the location of the x, 1401, something like that. Similarly, y equal to 3, and 3 is assigned to y variable, and y is stored in the different location. This is how. Did you find any uh, did you find any observation here? Here the location was same. You know why? Here the location was same. Why? Have any idea? Why? Because so x and y variables both are having the same value. That is the reason it was assigned to the same memory location. And if you go on giving two value to the y variable, and if you try to print the address of the y, it will give you the different location. Okay, it will be giving a different address. So this is what exactly the storage locations. And simply the very next one will be data types. So every value in Python has some specific data types. So the data types, like since everything is an object in Python programming, data types are actually classes, variables, or instance of these classes. Let's go for the numbers. So whereas numbers, we are having the data types, like of course number is also one of the data type, and within the numbers we are having the integers, floating point numbers, and complex number. Yeah, these are all different categories. Whereas in the numbers, and a equal to 5, if you are trying to print the type of the a, it will give you the print a equal to 5 is a type of, it's in comments, and comma type a, it will give the type of the a. 5 is a 5 is of type class int. Okay na? Similarly, now I was assigned 2.5 value to the a. If I want to know the type of the 2.5, just if you know the, if you print, it will be give the float. Similarly, 1 plus 2 1 plus 2j. So it is a complex number. Yeah, of course, yes, it is a true. We are using is instant nothing but, so as you are making 1 plus 2j comma complex, is saying is a complex or not? Yes, it is a complex. And finally, it is giving a true. That is about the numbers. And the second one, the boolean. So boolean nothing but, so whether it is a what exactly true or false. For such type of scenarios, so the data type would be the boolean. For example, if a equal true, a is a boolean type. Print, let's take b, and if you take some true, sorry, it was given the type of the A is a boolean. Means here you are defining actually. Just now I told you in a boolean are nothing but true and false. Here C equal to true. You defined already. So that is the reason if you print the type of C, it will give you the same thing boolean. If you make the same thing false, false is also boolean. So that is what it is giving exactly. Boolean is having the true and false, both the only true values. And when it comes to the Python strings, where in Python we too have the data type like strings. Strings is a sequence of Unicode characters. We can use single quotes or double quotes to represent the string. And for multi-line strings can be denoted using the triple quotes. And a string in Python consists of series or sequence of characters, letters, numbers, and special characters. Strings can be indexed, and similar to C, the first character of the string has the index 0. Now go to string exactly. Just now I told you the string is nothing but the group of unique codes or characters. And moreover, the string is located within the double quotes or single quotes. And this is online AI course is my string. I was assigned to a variable called s. If I print s, it will be giving the statement this is online AI course. Similarly, if I want to know the very first character, the very first character of the string, simply you can go for the index s where in the square brackets. If you define the 0 number, it will give you the very first character of the string, that is a t. If you give the 1, it will be giving the second character of the string, that is h. And if you want to know the last character, then it would be like x minus 1. If you type x minus 1, it would be giving the e. In generally, where in Python, so the beginning starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. Whereas in if you want to know, if you want to run from the backward from ending, so you need to come from the -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, so that the from the characters will be presented from the backward. If you want to know from the starting, you need to have the index like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And if you want to slice the string, okay, then for example, s, when the brackets you begin 5 hyphen, you're closing the bracket, nothing but it starts from 5. Let's take 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from is onwards, the line is printing is online AI codes. Similarly, you can have the same thing like 10. Now see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same thing. Line AI course, line AI course. I think you are able to get my point now. Similarly, you can also define saying that 10. It means that from starting to 10, from starting to 10, the line will be the string will be present. This is on 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, na? This is on. This is how we'll be using index for slicing the string or for trying to get the first and last character something. We'll be going for the index and slicing, and we'll be going to tell you in brief in further classes. Of course, Python list is also one of the data type, and you may have a dot. When it comes to string is a group of unique characters and which are defined in a double quotes or single quotes. And when it comes to Python list is in a order sequence of items. So it is one of the most used data type in Python and is very flexible. All the items in a list do not need to be of the same type. Declaring the list is items separated by commas and enclosed within the brackets, square brackets. So the very first one would be the list would be a elements in the square bracket in simple words, and it would be having the order sequence of items. List can have the multiple data types in a single, of course, multiple data types. Here, if you see, a is my variable, and the variable a is having the a list having the multiple data types. 10 is the integer, 20.5 is the float, hello is a string. If I print a, if I print a, it will be giving the list 10, 20.5 and hello and 1. If I want the only first, if I want the second element in the list, just you can say that 1. If you want the first element in the list, you can have the 0. If you want the third element in the list, you can have the 2. Why? Because in Python, so we start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, na? And lists are mutable, meaning value of elements of list can be altered. See, wherein Python we are having the mutable and immutable. Mutable means we can change. Okay, for example, here I was defining a, and this would be my, what is my a of 1? Yes. So I was going, if I print the first index element of my a, it would be 20.5. I can change this value. So similarly, a with the index of first element, I was giving some value that is 30.7. If I print a, now that 20.5 has been changed to 30.7. Okay, this is what mutable nothing but, so we can change the, we can alter the elements in the list. We can alter the elements. That is what a mutable. Of course. So this is a Python list. Python list is a mutable, and once again, a list is an ordered sequence of items, and wherein list we are declaring all the things are in a enclosed square brackets, whereas the square bracket can consist of multiple data types, and it is immutable. When it comes to tuple, tuple is a ordered sequence of items same as list. The only difference is that tuples are immutable. Tuples once created cannot be modified. Of course, the list and tuple both uh, function similarly. The main difference is that whereas a list is immutable and tuple is a immutable. So whereas immutable means we can't do any alter. For example, if I want the first element in the list to be 20.5, I can change this value. Hello, hello.
Sir, hello.
Yeah, am I audible?
Audible. Sir.
Are you able to see my screen?
No, sir. No, no.
I think now we are able to see my screen. Correct.
Yes, sir.
So now you got to know what is a list. So list is so list is an order list and generally where list will be represented in a enclosed within the square brackets of the time it was same, but the main difference is that tuple is the immutable. So mutable is a immutable where we can alter, where we can alternation equal to. So and one more thing, so how we are defining list in a enclosed square brackets, similarly small brackets enclosed, what are this enclosed parentheses, simple. So t equal to 1 comma 1 comma 5 comma ml. So let's element of the, sorry, second index element of the tuple. I was trying to give one new value to the second index of the tuple, like t of second index nothing but 1 equal to 1.25, and it would throw an error, type error. Why? Because people won't allow the modification. So that is the reason tuple is immutable. In Python set. So similarly Python set. So unordered, whereas the list is the ordered
Your
Sir,
voice is
hello.
breaking, sir. Sir,
items, whereas is it fine now? Hello,
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. Fine.
hello. Okay, fine. When comes to
Okay.
the list is the ordered collection of the items, and tuple is also ordered collection of items. Whereas list we are uh, having all our elements inside the enclosed square brackets. When comes to tuple, we are having all our elements in the enclosed parentheses. Similarly, the set, we are defining all the elements in the enclosed, so floor brackets or whatever it may be. Okay, here how we are defining a equal to 10, 30, 20, 40, comma 5. Okay, if I print the a, it will be giving the 40, 10, 25, 30. From this, you'll be getting to know that the order is not same. Okay, so whereas tuple and list, what are the order you give, the same order it will return. But set is not like that. Every time it will vary. Now it is 40, 10, 20, something that. And if you print once again, so 25, 40, 10. So it is the unordered collection of items, unique items. Why I am saying unique items, will let you know. So if I want to type the type of A, So it will be giving the set. Why? Because and we are having it in the floor bracket something. And for example, here there is one more 10, 20, 20, 30, 30, 30. If you see here, there are some of the duplicates. 30 is repeated for 3 times and 20 is repeated for 2 times. And if I print s, so it will be giving only 10, 20, 30. Why? Because so the set won't consider the duplicate elements. Of course, whereas list and tuple can, but set won't consider the duplicate elements. It will be presenting only the unique items. That is the reason set is an unordered collection of unique items. Of course, set has multiple data types. That is not an issue, but set is an unordered collection of unique items. So it won't follow specific order and it won't allow the duplicate items. It will be only returning the unique items. And also we cannot print particular element in a set because it is in unordered collection of items. So whereas in list as it is mutable, so we can do any changes for the respect to uh, uh, index for the respect to value. But when comes to set, as it is not in a as it is not in a order, every time it changes the order, we can't assign specific value to the respective element in the set. Okay, so that is one thing. And when comes to the, of course, and whereas in set we can perform multiple operations like union, intersection of sets, and this type of thing we can perform in the set operations. Of course, set has some unique values, so that is quite different. And Python dictionary. So dictionary is also one of the data type. So dictionary is an unordered collection of key value pairs. And in Python, dictionaries are defined within the braces, with each item being a pair in the form of key value. Key and value can be of any type. Let's take D. So D is my dictionary and dictionary variable, and this dictionary variable D having the A is my key and apple is my value. Similarly, B is my key, bat is my value. If I print the A, means dictionary variable D, indexing of A, it will be here A is my key. If I print this statement, I will be presenting the apple. It will return the apple. Okay, na? So nothing but, so similarly, if I print the key name B, it will be returning the, it will return the B. For the value of the key, it will return it is a bat. So simply, so dictionary is another collection of key value pairs, whereas the dictionary will be having the key and value. So this is my key and this would be my value. And yeah, this is what the Python dictionary exactly. When comes to the conversion between the data types, we'll be having the float of 5. Of course, we can convert the integer to float by having the float of 5. It will be returning the 5 comma 0. If you want to convert the float to the int, so simply int of 100.5 something the float value, it will return the 100. And if you want the integer to string, so simply you can have str of 20, it will be returning the string. Here now it is a, see here now it is defining it is a single quotes. And we can't do the similarly, means we can't convert the integer into a string into a integer. So that is the reason it is doing an error. So user equal to Satish, lines equal to 100. And if you want to print the complete line, so congratulations plus user plus the comment, what it may be, string, place the str of lines. So converting the this 100 into the, what you say, string plus lines of code. And if you print finally, congratulations Satin, you just wrote 100 lines of code. So we can convert one sequence to other, like a equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 print type of a, it will be reading the type a list. And now I can convert the list type into set, that is by uh, using the set function. set of A, it will convert the list into set. If you print the type of S, it will return the set. Okay, so initially it is the list. After converting, after using the set operation, we are converting the type of S into set. And similarly, convert string into list using the list method. We can also convert, okay, the string into a list by using the list function. Simply, hello is converted into list. So having separated by commas. So this is what the variables and data types exactly. Yeah, and wherein tomorrow class will going to take the other sessions of uh, standard inputs and outputs and operators, and sequentially we'll going to learn other classes also. Any questions and any doubts? Hello.
No, sir. No, sir.
So I will provide you the notes and everything. You can go through it, not a issue.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
So meanwhile, you guys just need to have the uh, notebook and pen, whatever it may be. Just revise everything. Okay, na?
Okay,
And
sir.
make sure that after having the class, try to practice at least for a 1 hour. So in that
Okay,
case, you
sir.
won't get forget. Okay. And why I'm saying means, so as it is a beginning, so most of the classes seems to be very simple and easy to learn. But after certain amount of time, so you may forget. There may be a chance of forget. Okay, try to recall every time. Try to revise the notes, make a notes and revise the
Okay,
notes
sir.
and practice. So that is the only one thing I can suggest you. And let's meet in tomorrow's class. Yeah, thank you, team. Have a great
Okay.
day.